Hey everyone, CPO here, and I have another video from you from Audew. This time I'm checking out a air compressor. So I'm trying this guy out here. This what I thought was interesting about this, besides the fact it's designed for emergency use, you throw it in the back of a vehicle in case you have a flat tire somewhere. It has an opportunity to set your inflation level, and it will automatically stop inflating when it gets to that level. So I thought that was kind of cool. So I'm going to try this first on my wife's van because one of her tires is low. We don't know which one, maybe all of them. So I thought I would use this to try and see how it looks. I'm going to test it with a known, trusted tire gauge to see how well the pressure matches. All right, so obviously this is the box it comes in, which we don't really care about, but it does come in a little travel bag, which is kind of cool. I imagine when this is all said and done, I'm going to probably throw this in my wife's van. All right. Does have a little inflation kit for things like, balls and whatever, and a spare fuse. So that's kind of cool. Does come with a user manual. Hopefully it's pretty simple to operate, so we'll try and not use that first. It's got sort of rubber padded feet on the bottom. There is your hose to connect to the tire. That's kind of cool. And then somewhere, I'm guessing right here, we have a door with our wire for connecting to the cigarette lighter adapter. Looks like there's a notch right there for that to come out of. Boom, just like that. All right, so let me plug it in to the van and we'll see. Hi puppy, how are you doing? How are you doing? I'm gonna move this over here. All right, so I got the power on. So let's take a look at this. You can set it. It's set to bars now. KPA, PSI, that's the one I want. 32, oh, I need to figure out what, let's see. She needs 35 PSI. So, back to here, oops, PSI. 35. So I have this set for 35 PSI, and then in theory, once I attach it to the tire, and turn it on, it should work. Handy. All right, that is there. It's kind of weird. It barely fits to the back plugged in. This is a minivan. It's good. Would have been easier if it was down on the bottom, because now it's sort of, I don't want the rubber feet. Anyway, so it's saying the tire pressure in there is 37.5. So when I turn this on, it's not going to do anything. So clearly this tire isn't a problem. So I'm going to, oh no. Okay, so you got to be quick on the trigger. Did you hear that, Radley? Now it's down to 37. So yeah, that's going to be a pain in the butt, really, to be honest with you, because there's not an easy way to get pressure, to get it on and off without losing pressure. I'm down to 36.5 already. Let's I'm going to release this down. 35.5. Why is it not coming on? Oh. Nope, it's lights. Oh, cool. So there is an emergency light here and a flashlight, but that doesn't help me with what I'm trying to do here. Interesting, it stopped at 35.5. What do I have it set at? I had it set at 35, so yeah, I guess that worked, right? Yeah, that's good. So I'm gonna turn this off. Now the catch is, how do I get this off without losing pressure? Because as soon as I flip this, it starts to lose pressure. So that's the way. Quickly grab it and and tug on it. Oh, I can see it. That's what she said joke coming.
That's what she said.
Hey, nice.
All right, let's go try another tire. And same thing, putting it on, I have to be quick. There we go. This is at 44. Oh my gosh. Hey Radley, you're in my shot, buddy. You're in my shot. All right. The reason I'm doing this is because she said her low tire pressure light was on, so I thought this would be a perfect place to start. 44. Man, they've got her overinflated like crazy. All right, it stopped at 35.5, 36 when it's set at 35. So plus or minus a PSI, which is good because it loses pressure, probably a half a PSI when you remove it. The big question will be, I should have done this first, is decide whether or not this is actually accurate. Let me do that. All right, so here's a gauge I trust. This is from my power tank. It's a digital gauge. Let's see what it's reading here. 27.8. Holy crap. It was probably fine before. 27.8 PSI. This is reading 36. That is almost an entire 10 PSI off. So I'm going to ramp this up a little bit to back to 45. Look, here's the thing, the gauge is 10 PSI off. I don't like that. It definitely works, right? It comes on automatically, stops automatically, but if I can't trust the gauge, here's the thing, if you can't trust your tools to give you correct information, they're really not of much value. So, I mean, I guess you could take this and then know that it's 10 off and just set it accordingly. We'll see what happens here in a second, but I mean, honestly, I'm not super thrilled about this. Sorry, Audew. I mean, I like your products, but maybe I got a bad one. Maybe let's see if that's what happened. All right, so it stopped at 45.5. Let's see what the actual reading is. 36.6. So I need to get down to 35. Here's the problem I have with it. I think it's a cool idea. I think it's a cool concept. For emergency use, I mean, sure, why not? I just wish it was accurate in the reading, and I wish that this didn't lose so much air in taking it on and off like that. I just don't like it. Sorry, Audew, I don't like it. All right, it's another day. I got another Audew pump. They sent me a second one to see if maybe there was a problem with the first one. So yeah, this time though, I've got my trusted auto gauge that I normally use, and I brought out my bike pump, not because I can air up the tire with it, but it's got a gauge that I can trust. So what I'm going to do, this tire is showing low on my wife's van because I think it's got a hole in it. So she actually ordered replacement tires anyway, but I'm pretty sure this is the culprit. It's going to be low. So what I'm going to do is check it first with the Audew, confirm it with the trusted power tank gauge, and then just to double confirm, I'll see how this one lines up with that. So yeah, should be interesting to see how things work out. I can barely reach here. I still don't like the head on this thing because it makes it sort of awkward to get a reading. We basically push on it, lose some air pressure, and then clamp it in. So we're reading 24 psi on this right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect this without losing too much, just to confirm against this guy, which can do. This is not really designed to be in here, but I think I can make it work. And it is reading the same, right about 24, 25-ish. Let me set it to 35. All right, so I told it to stop at 35.5. It did, so that is good. That's a good sign. Now the big question is it really 35.5? While I'm here, you can see I've got barely enough room to actually reach the tire from the cigarette lighter, but I could always open the door. Right now it's running through the window. So I could open the door, probably get a few more inches out of it. But it fits. The other cool thing is you've got this light here for an emergency flashlight. And I can set it for flashing red or white. So if my wife was stuck on the side of the road, you know, she could turn this in a way that would hopefully warn people that she's here. Again though, I'm kind of limited on how much room I have, but the auto stop function at 35.5 seems to have worked. So let's come back over here, see what it takes to get this off without losing too much pressure. That was not bad. So let me plug in the power tank. And yeah, looky there, 35.6. So it looks like this gauge on this newer version they sent me is pretty accurate. This one is reading about the same, 35. Much more impressed than I thought I was going to be. So yeah, I think this would make a viable vehicle, like emergency pump. It's not horribly slow. seems to be fairly accurate. This one, so what I would do is when you get one of these, now seeing that I had one that was completely inaccurate, is test it. Matter of fact, let me go get that other one and see how it compares now. All right, so I just plugged in the original one I had, and it's showing, right now it's showing 40 PSI, which is only 5 higher than the actual reading. So this gauge is clearly off a little bit. It's not showing as off as it did the first time I used it, so I'm not sure why that is. But one thing's for sure is I'm gonna throw this in my wife's van and let her have it because I think it is a useful tool. It's not a precision instrument, so even being even up to 5 PSI off is not that big of a deal because it's an air compressor and it's got an emergency flashlight and like a hazard flasher light. So if she finds herself in a situation like this where her tire is low and I'm not around to fix it, at least she'll have ability to put some air in it. So yeah, I think it's a cool idea. I wish the gauge was more accurate on the other one. This one seems to be pretty good though. So yeah, I think I'm gonna give one of these away. I wasn't going to because I wasn't sure if it was going to be good enough quality, but I'm convinced now that I might have just got a bad one the first go round. So yeah, comment below and I will do a drawing in a week or two and give one of these guys away. So anyway, thanks Audew. Thanks for sending me a second one when the first one didn't look right. And yeah, you guys came through. Everyone else, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.